Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Demand Gen Summit. I am Lorena Morales, VP of Marketing at GoNimbly, the revenue operations company. Very happy to be here, simply because I am going to talk about a topic that is really close to my heart. I think the reason to be is because I've been a practitioner of both. I just didn't have either the official title, or maybe I didn't even know that I was doing that until very recently. So let's jump to it. The topic is the intersection between account-based marketing / ABM and revenue operations. When we talk about GTM strategies, I think there's a problem that needs to be fixed and talk about it more than we're doing it now. And I think is customer centricity around every single strategy in your revenue team. Revenue operations, just like ABM, is all about this customer centricity that I am talking to you about. It's about listening. It's about understanding after you already listen to your buyers, to your target accounts. Because yes, it's true, you are gonna be changing your motion to sell to accounts. But at the end, you're going to be selling to a human, and that individual or individuals in the case of multi-stakeholders deals, they are going to tell you their pains if you are willing to listen and to be a good insight finder kind of thing. And I think those needs need to shape your entire go-to-market strategy. When we talk, I've heard a lot of marketers confuse the terms, not only the terms, but also the execution between demand generation and lead generation. And it's simply because I think lead generation was very, very successful early in the 2000s, when, first of all, the job of marketing was pretty much to throw leads to the sales team in the hopes of those leads converting. Another factor that I think it's even more important is that the customer journey was thought to be way more linear than what we know today. We have read about it. We have heard it in every conference that around 75 to 80% of the customer journey already happens by the moment that your customers are talking to the sales team. And so with that, I think that educational process that it's going to happen naturally needs to be very, very, very tied to your programs. I think I am not saying that lead generation is bad or that you shouldn't pursue it. My only intention in this talk is to make sure that the audience is able to find a way to balance all these strategies instead of allowing them to be separate machines that don't really interact enough. On another point on lead generation, it should never, ever be about quality over it should never be about quantity over quality. Not only because this causes way more friction between sales and marketing that already exists, yes, but also because often that approach doesn't take the buyer experience into account. I think if you're going to pursue lead generation, your purpose should be to decrease, of course, CPLs or cost per leads, but at the same time, make sure that you're getting high quality leads. I think a good example of this, of applying these methodologies was when I started at GoNimbly. We did have a form in the website. We were getting a couple of long pieces of content. And my reaction was, why are we doing this? I think both forms and gated content are not really customer-focused strategies, because simply they are not viewed as an equity exchange. The days when you were pushing your customers to go directly to your sales team and then, oh, marketing is done because I already pushed it to sales, are gone. People need value from very early stages, even in the awareness stage, and you should be able to deliver that. I don't understand why we're still creating content just for the sake of fixing volume. Whereas demand gen, in my own perspective, is where you provide this value at every single stage of the funnel. And the same is true actually for account-based marketing, but I think on a more granular scale. And we're going to discuss that in a little bit. So moving forward, let's talk a little bit about challenges, because I think everyone wants to know this. Common challenges on ABM and how revenue operations can help you alleviate those challenges. The first thing is, let's start with the same why. Why are you transitioning to an account-based marketing program? Your answer should be target revenue and hopefully profit. Your only purpose of ABM is to convert target accounts. That's it. We need to start there. How you do it, that's another story. And generally, how you do that is by personalizing your entire outbound motion to the needs of those accounts. Revenue operations on its own, it's, I think, more broadly, is a methodology that rewires the way go-to-market teams think. It forces them to refocus on the experience you are delivering at every stage of the funnel. Revenue operations makes teams more aware of the reality of the buying experience, so they can target their approach more precisely and with the same customer-centric perspective that I've been talking about from the very beginning. And in the same line of thought, I think one of the main challenges teams have when trying to make this transition is the lack of buy-in from the sales team. It can happen for several reasons. Marketing and sales are just starting to find that common language. But historically, we didn't have the same interests. We didn't report to the same KPIs. So it's only natural that friction is going to happen. I think, though, the core issue is usually the lack of cross-functional empathy. A lot of marketers still are very far from doing prospecting calls, from shadowing their sales teams, from having ongoing meetings with the head of sales, even with the SDRs, with the BDRs. And I think, yes, revenue operations helps to remedy this, because it makes it much easier for teams to not only communicate effectively, but I think work together understanding the business holistically. It also provides a way to approach a more sustainable and scalable ABM strategy. As I was saying, the main goal for organizations, I believe today, is to get rid of friction. Companies that don't eliminate it are set up for failure. And the beauty, again, of revenue operations is that it simply looks at every point of friction that happens in the business, not only in marketing and sales, but also on the processes, also on the people. This way, companies are able to delight more clients, and therefore you good potential, like if you're already in the transition of revenue operations, most likely you're going to have a safer approach to strategies like ABM. So the transition, and you may ask, Lorena, transition to what? What is this presentation all about? And I want to start to kind of change things when it comes to ABM. Because think about it. When I tell you, hey, this is ABM or account-based marketing, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Oh, that term brings to my mind that it's purely a marketing strategy, that marketing should own it, should lead it, should be responsible for the entire thing. When a strategy that it's so, it's complex. It's a very complex strategy. Even if you do a one-to-many program or a one-to-one, whatever is your your needs, it's still going to be a very complex program. And that misconception of thinking that it's purely a marketing strategy, it's going to take your team again to go back to silos, again to be working towards different goals. So what I am bringing today is the importance to recognize the power of language, particularly implementing something that is going to change your sales cycles forever, that is going to change the job of sales, of marketing, and even for customer success. When trying to define this internally, I realized that the work of sales changed, and the same thing happened to the marketers in my team and to myself, of course. I think today the sales team should be more some sort of a trust advisor that facilitates the purchase when the buyer is ready, while marketing should be involved in every single stage, all the way from awareness to advocacy. Working, of course, with product, with finance, with customer success, of course, and make sales your counterpart. It's a time that sales and marketing are not separate departments. They are the revenue team. And marketing, on another level, should be responsible for the growth of the organization. That's where I think things are moving. The times where marketing was more a support system are gone, and they are gone for a reason. It's time to think about this department as a strategic function of the business. Some people are starting to believe that marketing is more important than ever. I don't know if I would agree with that, because in my personal case, I think I developed respect for the sales profession that I never really had before. So that's what I want to leave you with. A new word that is going to start to make people think in the same way. We already know that we can really change perceptions, but we can absolutely change behaviors, and language is one of those. So I think to my fellow marketers, we need to stop being afraid of owning a number, of being the department that comes and says, I am equally strategic as sales. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for your time. If you want to connect with me, just go ahead and find me on LinkedIn. I usually accept all invitations, and it's been a pleasure to have you here with me today. Thank you. Bye-bye.